Get rich quick. Eliminate all your troubles. We hear things like this almost every day. The world tells us that money is the cure to all of our problems, and that it'll give us that perfect life. You know, the one you've always wanted. But is this true? Does that form of covetousness help in solving our problems and improving our life? More importantly, does it provide the things we need to secure that other perfect life? The one without sickness, pain, death? The one promised not by this system, but by that of Jehovah himself? Well, let's turn to our theme scriptures and see what the Bible has to say about this covetous lifestyle and what it offers in the end. Please turn with me to Luke 12, and we'll read verses 13 through 15 and 21. Luke 12, 13 through 15 and 21. It says, "Then a certain one of the crowd said to him, 'Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me.' He said to him, 'Man, who apportioned me judge or apportioner over you persons?' Then he said to them, 'Keep your eyes open and guard against every sort of covetousness, because even when a person has an abundance, his life does not result from the things he possesses.' 21. So it goes with the man that lays up treasure for himself, but is not rich toward God." So what can we take away from these scriptures? Well, we see that we need to keep our eyes open and guard ourselves. Keeping our eyes open was a warning to us that this world would try to tempt us into becoming covetous. Now, keep in mind that being covetous isn't limited to the desire of having money or just strictly materialism. Being covetous is having a desire for anything, a desire so strong that it affects our thinking, our judgment. It has such a control over us that, in a sense, it becomes a god to us. So, covetous is a form of idolatry, which we know to flee from. Now, in verse 21, what exactly does the verse mean by, "so it goes with the man"? Well, we need to understand the context, which is explained in verses 16 through 20. So let's go ahead and read that. It's Luke 12, 16 through 20. And it says, "With that he spoke in illustration, Jesus, to them, saying, 'The land of a certain rich man produced well. Consequently, he began reasoning within himself, saying, What shall I do now that I have nowhere to gather my crops?' So he said, 'I will do this. I'll tear down my storehouses and build bigger ones, and there I'll gather all my grain and all my good things. And I'll say to my soul, Soul, you have many good things laid up for many years. Take your ease, eat, drink, enjoy yourself.' But God said to him, 'Unreasonable one, this night they are demanding your soul from you. Who then is to have the things you stored up?'" So here we're given an example of a man who wants to expand his storehouses for his excess of grain. This in turn will allow him to live a little more comfortably. He'd be able to take ease, eat, drink, and enjoy himself. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to relax and enjoy ourselves from time to time, but he never mentioned devoting any of his extra time to doing Jehovah's will. So we see that this man eventually dies, and what then? Everything he's made for himself, everything that he has, it isn't worth anything to him anymore. This illustration reminds me of the saying, "The real measure of your wealth is how much you'd be worth when all your money's gone." Ask yourself, how much am I worth to Jehovah? What treasures have I stored up with him? So the expression, "so it goes with all men," applies to every person who puts their desires first and Jehovah second, and they'll have the same outcome as the man in the illustration. And it's also important to notice that the illustration brings out that this was a rich man, one whose land produced well. He wasn't poor, and his land was more than sufficient. He didn't need to seek anything more for himself. So what can we take away from that? Well, we obviously need food, clothing, shelter, and even entertainment and toys, if you will, from time to time. Sisters, maybe it's that hot little drop top you can get once you're no longer a human ATM. Guys, you know where I'm going. That round of golf at Pebble Beach. Even treating ourselves from time to time is a necessity. Jehovah wants us to enjoy ourselves as much as we can in this system. But the question is, once we've reached a comfortable lifestyle, how much extra time and our means do we devote to Jehovah? I'd like to close with one last quote, one that I like and I think can help in setting our priorities. It says, "Waste your money and you're only losing money, but waste your time and you've lost a part of your life." As we've seen tonight, pursuing earthly desires is a waste of our time in the end. Friends, we don't have much time or life left in this system. Let's not waste it.